The Rebbe Shlita, I want to first of all thank our dear Chaver, Rebbe Goldsmith, for making this shidduch, for giving us the zechiyah, this rus, that the Rebbe came to our Beis Midrash, which is nish ta pashut zach, at all. It means a lot to all of us over here. And Chaver, a lot of the Torahs that you've heard me saying over the last few, probably 6 months. So many of the Torahs, as I've mentioned, are coming from the Sfarim of the Rebbe, and the neimus, the sweetness of the words that are emanating from every page. I believe b'chol libi u'nafshi are Torahs for our dor, for our generation, in a way that will attach us as strong as we possibly could, to feel the chiyus that we all long for, and we just thank the Rebbe so much, and we're all blessed, wishing the Rebbe many more years of good health, and to be able to just continue b'yeser se'esu b'yeser oz, and anachnu im Rebbe, anachnu itcha.
Thank you very much. I need to start with apologizing. My English is not such a well English. I'm not an American. I was born here. My parents were from Canada. When they used to talk among themselves, they wanted to say secrets. They would talk English. So it wasn't my language. I learned in my young years in a high school, Yeshiva Tichonit in Beit Vegan, named Nativ Meir, and we needed to go over Mivchanei Bagrut, means hard exams, and we learned their English also as a subject. So my English is weak and not as an English that an American guy, so I'm asking for your forgiveness to skip when I'm mistaking. So I hope that from the Rav that the most important thing that he thinks to be talked about is about the Tmidius, Tmidim Kesidron. It should be something that is not just comes as oilers, someone is getting to be very, very happy, with a lot of emotions, and then things are stopping. And people need to have the ability to go ahead in every day, in every time. Everyone has his ups and downs, and it needs to be something that should be as strong as just as to eat and to breathe. So I will try to talk about this point that I have now from the Rav. Being in this parsha that is coming, Parshas Tolda, is reading the history of our nation and knowing that everything that is written in the Torah is important for us. Torah is not talking too long. Every word is just exact as it is. And we have here describing of those two brothers that grew together by Yitzchak with Rivka. So you have a Yitzchak with Rivka. Everyone knows the history, the difference. Yitzchak was 40 years old. Rivka was 3 years old. So today, with our rules, with our attitude, we would say a couple that has so many years in between themselves, it won't exist. But we know that what is written in the Torah is emes. Avraham Avinu was raising his child Yitzchak as a Jewish child, and it came up to the Akedah, and Yitzchak Avinu was under Mizbeach as a korban, This is something that is very, very high. Those years were years that Rivka wasn't born yet, but her parents, the Rebbe Shiur, wasn't such a big rabbi. He wasn't even not a conservative, not a reform rabbi. He was a goy, in a goy with all the details of a goy. He was a murderer, he was a cheat, he was every bad thing that we can think was this Shiur. And he has a son, Lovan Arami. Lovan Arami is well known by us. When a Jewish person is bringing Bikurim, he's saying in Beis HaMikdash, Arami Oived Ovi. I want to remind my grandfather Arami that he wanted to kill our father. Yaakov Avinu was an Edim Balovon. He took his daughters. They were our Imoes, Rochel and Leah, Bilo and Zilpo. In this Lovon, as we know, Yaakov Avinu says to Lovon, Vatachlef es maskorti, aser pe'omim. 10 times that Lovon tried to cheat his own son-in-law as a bluffer, a gunner. They say of Jewish, a bitter ying, not a light person. He was the brother of this Rivka. So thinking in the big way that Rivka had to go away from Besuel and from Lovon, and to come into a house as Yitzchok mit Avrom and so, it's a very, very big change. And this big change had also a result. Rivka Emuna is having 2 children together, siblings that are te'oimim, twins. So one of them is Esau. Thinking about growing by Yitzchok, by Avrom, how can it be that this Esau will be a child in such a house? Because Yitzchok was so holy, and Avrom Avinu was so holy, and Rivka, and in sorrow. And in this house, we see a child that is named Esau, and Vayigdelu Haneorim, this is a pasuk in our parsha. Vayi Esau ish yedei atzayid ish sodeh, v'Yakov ish tom yoshev oiholim. Thinking about those 2 brothers in the same house, we understand that Esau was a creation of Chazal say, Masechta Bubasre, Roiv Bonim, Doimim le'achei ho'em. If you want to know about children, you should look on the brothers from the mother. They are bringing an influence about them. So Esau was very, very similar to Lovon, achei ho'em. This is something that he has in his blood. He was born so. And then came Yaakov. Yaakov was the twin, but he was the second twin. And he is V'yodoy oichezes ba'akev Esau, v'yikro shmo Yaakov. And then in those 13 first years, 2 children, Vayigdelu Haneorim. Rashi says when they were smaller, no one could say that this is a Moshe and this is a Tzaddik. They looked the same. Both went with kapla. Both had long payas as children of Yitzchak Avinu, and both went to the Cheder. So Rashi says it didn't come to the Vayigdelu Haneorim. You couldn't see a change between those 2 children. And they got to be on their own to the bar mitzvah, then you could see the big change. Vayi Esau, ish yedei atzayid, ish sodeh. Ish sodeh is the name of a person that is not in a way to be in a town. He needs to be in a field as an animal. V'Yakov ish tom, yoshev oiholem. Thinking about those 2 brothers in those first years, Yaakov Avinu didn't have an influence on Esau. And Esau didn't have an influence on Yaakov. So we say Esau has a bad nature. He has a very bad uncle. And his nature is pulled to things that are not holy. This is something that we understand. Yaakov ish tom yoshev oiholim means that Yaakov needed to invest. He needed to put a lot of power in being not the same as his twin Esau. So Esau was ish edei atzayit ish soda, nothing to be hard. Just as the American people say, take it easy. He's taking easy life. Easy life is not to have on his head a lot of choivas and mitzvahs, and just take it easy. Ish soda. He's in the field, he's doing everything that he wants to do. And Yaakov needed to work. And his work was Yoshev Oiholim. Yoshev Oiholim is not written as a past, nicht hoyo. Yoshev Oiholim is a present. He needs to be daily, go in school, and learn, and examine, and go ahead and be a worker. You need to work. So for us, so many years later, knowing how things were developed, knowing that today, this Esau left over a Yerusha. We do know, the Gemara says in Masechta Megillah that Edom, this is the land that was belonging to Esau, and the Gemara is calling one of the Oilom Gramemaya. Gramemaya is in our Girse Germania. This is Deutschland. So Deutschland is something that could be very respected by Jewish people many years. A lot of culture, up to 80 years ago. And a whole nation put himself in a hateness to people that didn't harm, didn't do nothing bad. Jewish people. Who from the Jewish people was an enemy to this Hitler in Ashreinu? No one disturbed them, no one told them a bad word. The hateness was such an hateness that we understand that 5 years the whole nation was busy to be the cruel in a way that no one knew about it. And the whole world was silent. Even the very, very big President Roosevelt, he slept well. He knew about the Auschwitz, but nothing pushed him. He should do something. Rabbonim came to talk with him. He promised until it didn't come to his own soldiers, and it was a big embarrassment for him, what happened, what the Japanese made for him, and he was embarrassed, and then he came into the war. This was one of the ways how the Rebbe leaded it. But thinking a little bit about this happening, that we know about it so clear. This Hitler, he had plans, and he had his plans about taking the whole world, and he wasn't far from it. But he had this hateness to Jewish people. So he came into Poland, and he had a victory. He was a menatzeach. How many soldiers did he leave over in Poland that the whole duty was to collect Jewish people and to kill them? What's the rush? Why is it so important? You are now in the middle of a war. So take those people, take them to the war. They should kill the enemies. Jewish people will stay. Every Jewish guy that is living in Lodz or in Warsaw, they will stay there. They don't have plans to go. You want to kill the Jewish people? Be patiently. Wait 10 years. Take the whole world. And then you can come back and do everything that you want. No, not Hitler. So he's getting telegrams from his officers in Russia. And they say Russia is a bad place for us. It's cold, it's snowing, We need more soldiers. Send more soldiers. This was the time when he started to see that it's not going so well. And he's answering in a few telegrams that I saw, because I learned this history. He's answering, he doesn't have people to send. They are busy with a very important duty in Poland. They cannot go to Russia. When he is, as to say, a little bit normal, just about being normal. You have a plan, okay. So what is more important? You should kill another Jewish woman in Poland, or you should go ahead in Russia. You have a war, it's a war. Go to this war as a general needs to go. Take your soldiers. No way. Those children are doing something that is so important, it needs to be done now, today. Those children that you are killing, it takes you time. Wait. You need to kill this child when he is 5 years old. He will be 10 years old. In the meantime, you will take Russia. You will have a big mitzvah coming to Eretz Yisrael. How far was Hitler from Eretz Yisrael? Elan mine. It could be in 2 weeks. And then the Rebbe Shalom has his plans. So Rommel came and he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. Montgomery was there, a British guy. He was there and he went in a war and he stopped Hitler. He couldn't go ahead. And it came to Tov Shin Hey. It was 1945. He lost the war. He lost the whole war. He needed to suicide himself. And his big officers got the punishment from the American military. They killed in Nuremberg all the big Nazis. And his own land was taken by American, by the Russian. Needed to divide this Germany to two. It was the Russian part, it was the American part. And Germany lost home and the pension. We know today about people that were killed in Germany. It is also about more than 1 million people that were killed, citizens. But when a war is a war, so Americans send airplanes to bombardier in Deutschland. This is what happened. So trying to think, to put ourselves, chas v'sholem, never ever, but to think about it. What was his plan? He was a Satan, he was a Rosh Hashanah, but he was a person. Why did he do such a thing? He could do it as more to be normal, in his rules, in his attitude. So be normal and do what is important. And then you will have the time to do what you love to do, to kill Jewish people. So, yeah, we know that Rebbe Shalom is leading the world, and he's giving to this Moshe such ideas that if he would think about it, he would see that the ideas are not well, are not good for him. But Rosh Hoylech Berishoy, Shlomo HaMelech says the Rosh doesn't see. He's so in it, he's crazy about it. We cannot talk with him. So this is only an example of one of the grandchildren from this Esau. Esau, who Edom. Esau is looking with eyes that they see the red color, the color of blood. He sees blood. And this is what went over to our world. We are already from the creation 5,000 years, and Tov Shin Pei Vo, 780. We are coming close to the finish of this creation that is called Olam Hazeh. As Chazal say, this world will exist 6,000 years. So we are very close to the end. In learning from the past, we are taking those two brothers, Yaakov and Esau, and we understand those are things that are going on 1,000 years, more than 1,000 years, more and more. One Esau, one creation of a bad, evil person that lived with his life and made what he wanted to do. The Gemara says that his bar mitzvah, when he was 13 years old, he killed already a few people in the field. Someone made him to be angry, so he killed him. This is by Esau a very simple thing. He's 13 years old. He has a father, Yitzchak, a mother, Efrat, a grandfather, Avon, a grandmother, Sarah. He's killing people to the 13 years. Something in the nature that it's so bad. And Yaakov Avinu, that is a sibling and is a twin, needs to work hard. Yoshev Ayhon. He's working hard. Looking at Yaakov from the other side, this is our grandfather. We are Reiniklich of Yaakov Avinu. His life, not his father Yitzchak, not his grandfather Avram, went over what he went over. Avram Avinu had problems with his father Terach, with Nimrod, but then he had hundreds of years, calm years. Yitzchak Avinu was sitting in his house, learning, davening. He was blind. Yaakov Avinu didn't have. One day he should be as calm to be a brother of Esau. And then came the story of the brachas, so Esau had an excuse to say to himself, Yikrevu yemei Evel Ovi, ve'ahargo es Yaakov Ochi. Now he's only thinking how to kill. And Rivko Yemenu is clever enough to say to her son, run away, don't be here with Esau, it's dangerous. And he's running in his life to a strange place, Lavan's house. As we know, this Lavan wasn't such a sweet uncle. And Yaakov Avinu has there his first children. And then Rabbi Ashreinu says, go back. So he's going back from Lavan. And this is the very history meeting between him with his brother. Esau is coming with 400 officers to kill Yaakov, the family. And Rabbi Ashreinu helps. And they are finding as a nice meeting. And Esau is giving him a kiss. This red Esau is giving a kiss for a brother that he wants to kill. And he is offering, Niso neilecho ve'elcho kenegdecho, let's go together. And Yaakov Avinu says, you know, my children are weak. Adoni yoidea, defokul yoilecho v'meisu kol atzoin. You go in your way. V'onoichi, I will go with my children. Ad asher ovri el Adoni se'iro. It will come a time that I will be in Seir. Ve'olu moishim b'har Tzion, lishbot esar Esau, v'oesel Hashem ha'melucho. It will come the time, Yaakov Avinu promised, but just let me go on my own without you, and as gentle as it is, Yaakov Avinu is building his house, and then to go to Mitzrayim, and to have the Shiur of Mitzrayim, as we know, Avodim v'inu Esau, 400 years. Not easy years. Jewish people were slaves to the Mitzrim. Mitzrim were very primitive, very not talented people. But to make bad years for Jewish people, they were there. And then comes the Tzis Mitzrayim, and the Matan Torah, and the 40 years in Midbar, and coming in Eretz Yisrael, and the nation that is called Israel is starting to grow up, to be developed, and to be Oil Lagoyim. This is the truth. So we are Jewish people, Baruch Hashem, every one of us. In Judaism went over many hard times, many hard times. It was very old years ago that Jewish people were under Malchus, this Malchus and this Malchus. We had a Beis Hamikdash that was destroyed by our Sonim. Jewish people went to the Golus, first Golus in Bovel, second Golus, third Golus. We are in the fourth and the last Golus. And we are in trouble. We are in trouble because one reason that no one wants to admit. They are jealous. They are jealous. This is the emes truth. They are jealous. Har Sinai, the Gemara says that the name of this mountain was Choyerev, but it's called Sinai because from this mountain Yorda Sin Ol Olam. Sinai is from hateness. What is the hateness? Jewish people got the Torah. So to getting the Torah is not an easy thing. So many mitzvahs and averas, but the goyim, they had a jealousy. This jealousy brought the hateness. They alone cannot point with a finger to explain what is this hateness we have today in the big America, free America. We have the cases of anti-Semitism. What is this? Why do you hate the Jewish person? What is wrong with you? You should hate. You don't know him. You go to a synagogue and you are breaking. Why don't you go to a mosque from the Muslim? Why don't you go to a church from, if you are a Protestant and he is a Catholic? So kill. Never ever. Jewish people are causing hateness that does not have no explanation. In every place. It can be in Russia, it can be in USA, it can be in Africa, it can be in Cape Town, it can be in England, in France. Every land is not the same land, but in every land you can find this anti-Semitism. This has one reason, and this one reason is Jewish people are hated by the Goyim because they are jealous. And the jealousy is coming from this point, a Jewish boy starting and getting older and getting even old. He is busy. A Jewish person needs to be busy, and he hasn't what to be busy. If you are looking on the books that we have, how many books do we need to know? So we have Chamisha Chumshe Torah, and we have Chovdalet Sifra Nevi'im, and we have Shisa Sidra Mishnah, and we have the Shas Babli, and Shas Yerushalmi, in Arba Chelke Shulchan Aruch. This is enough for 200 years. Every Jew needs to know it. It's not something that belongs, this belongs only to the Litvikas, this belongs only to the Israeli people. This is for everyone. Everyone needs to know Chamisha Chumshe Torah. Shisha Sidra Mishnah, in the Shas, everyone. So we are talking with people that are already 40, 50, 60, and 30, 20. We are not making an exam how much from the Shas do you know, how much from the Shas you are close with. We do know it's not only about those people that are living in Efrat and coming from America. I know people that were born in Jerusalem, and there are 10 generations in Jerusalem, and they do not have yet the right knowledge about Shas. It needs to be done. It needs to be done. Yaakov Ishtom Yoshev Oyhole. We don't have nothing that can be for us a defense except of being Yaakov Yoshev. So today, as everyone knows, came up this sugya of being in Israel and being a soldier. I have in my family a few soldiers. I have friends, good friends that live with me, soldiers. Soldiers that are alive, soldiers that were killed in the wars that we had here. So it's a sugya. It is a sugya. What's about taking a part of being in military? I'm not talking about this subject. If the rabbi will invite me to talk about this subject, so we will have a lecture about it. But I'm talking about those people that, let's say that they are right. Let's say that you need and you need to do it. No argument. I have an argument. But let's say, so What's about this mitzvah of Vorgiso boyoimo volaylo? So you need to do both. You need to be in the military, and you need to know. And we know there are a few people, not too much, but they are doing it. And this is their duty. They are not doing a favor to no one. They need to learn, and they need to be in the military. Just as someone is going to the university and is learning something, just as someone that needs to work to bring parnasa home, so he's working in a bank, and it takes his time. He needs to have a grocery. He's in the high tech, so it takes the time. The question is not about what he's doing. The question is about what he's doing when he's coming home. So coming home, tired, yes, tired. And sleeping, yes, sleeping. And then everyone has those few hours. So what comes then? So if you're a Jew and you know what is your duty, you worked today, you don't need to work again. You're home, you have a TV, you have a newspaper, and you have a mishnayos in your closet. What are you doing? What are you doing with your time? So as we know from very close, many people would prefer to sit with a paparos, a cigarette, and a cup of tea or coffee, also not so healthy, but let's say, and just to push the button and to see these very important things. It's a football play, it's a baseball play, it's an argument between people, it's someone that is killing someone else. What is it for a Jew to be so interested in it? It's so poor, it's so empty, it's nothing. Million people are coming to see a baseball play in New York, in the big places in USA. Million people are wasting time. Times that it's cold, it's rainy. They are there. Mesirus nefesh. For what? What will you do? You will see how the Yankees are taking it, throwing it. It's so silly. And people are doing it. It's something that you are getting used to, and he must have it. Looking and then having shetlech, who will do, why. And then many times we hear stories that behind no one sees. It's only about honor and money. You are paying money, so someone will be in this team or in this team. Nothing there that it's serious, something that for a serious person should be a lesson to learn. So let's take someone that he is the best football player. How is he the best in being a person, in middlestoivers, in intelligent? What is he? I had someone that came, knocked on my door, and he said, my name is this and this name. You didn't hear my name? I said, no. He said, I was the best football player here in Israel. You didn't hear my name. My name was all the signs in Tel Aviv, and where you went, you saw my picture and my name. So I said, Shalom Aleichem. I must admit, as a child in Beit Vegan, I played also football, so I know what it is. So what do you want by me? He says, I got to be old, and I lost my ability to play. And in one minute, the whole history was gone. No one respected me, no one thought that I'm something special. I'm just as a vegetable in store. I'm nothing. And it's so hard for him as to take it. So he's not searching after his picture in Tel Aviv in Ayalon. He knows that other people will be there, not him. But he's waiting that people should come to him to interview him, to ask him how it was. He says, 50 years of my years went in garbage. 50 years. I'm nothing. Now that I know, my children, my grandchildren, they don't have what to search by their grandfather. I don't know what to tell them. Who was the rabbi in those years when I was young? I don't know. I was never keeping Shabbos. I was never putting tefillin. I am lost. My life was kaduregel. No kaduregel, blow up. Nothing left over. It is so. But we are young. We are, Baruch Hashem, with a lot of hopes. So times that it takes until we are coming to this solution, it's times that it's late or too late, or not too late, but late. It's late. So this is the time, as Parshas Torah is looking at those two children, Yaakov in Esau, and then looking further, in realizing, understand how important is knowing who we are, what we are, and what are our abilities, what is the potential. Looking at the people here in Efrat, because I'm accepting people many years, so I have learned a little bit about Chochmas HaPartzuf. What can you learn from a face of a person? It's a big chochma. And I can tell you for sure that those faces that I see here are very positive, good faces. Baruch Hashem. Good faces, nice people, good people. So it's not nafkamina what is the hat that you are wearing on your head. It's not nafkamina if your tzitzis are outside or inside. It's not nafkamina if you have a long beard or a short beard. It's one nafkamina. Your soul is a Jewish soul. And this Jewish soul needs to come to high madregas, much higher than you are, than I am. And to do it, we need to be Yoshev Oiholim, just to be there, just to understand, to realize. And then, when we know what is our goal, what we want to reach, we are putting ourselves into it. So we need other things also. We need also to go to military, okay? We need also to go to university, okay? We need also to make money, okay? Now, you're 50 years old. You are retiring. The money sits in a good place in a bank and is growing, Baruch Hashem. What are you doing now? You went over 50 years from your years. You have 50 years to live. Why not? 50 years. What will you do in those 50 years? What is your plan? What are you intending to do? Are you a Yoshev Oiholim that was bored out because you had a wife and you had children? You needed to do things? No complaints. But now, you are 50. What are your plans? Are you including in your plans learning, davening, progressing, reaching things? Or you stay in the place where you stopped working, you sit home, you look in the TV, and TV looks on you, and that's it. In time, it's going over. People that are 50, in 50 years they will be 100. When they come to the 100, they are buying themselves a place in the cemetery, and this is the second department that will be. No one lives longer than 120, so it will come. So people are moving away, and they're coming to this place that is called Beis HaChaim, and they are buried there. What stays over for the children? What did you leave over something for your children? So if it's money, you can lay on your children that they will fight one with the other, and it will be, Baruch Hashem, it will be freilach. Why? Because children are fighting about money. Big thing, big deal. So they will have your money and they will fight about it. What will stay from you? It will come the day that is your side. What will they tell the children? Let's go to the cave of our father. Let's daven there. Let's be thankful to him that he taught us. He gave us those tools to know how to progress. No one is there. No one is there. I have good friends that they are working in this work called Chevre Kadisha. And they are many times in this big mountain, Har Menuchas. It's empty. Empty. No one is there. No one is coming, except of those people that are from people. So every day you have your side, people are coming to the kever. But most of the mountain are buried people that are not from. They have children, but the children are so busy with those things as football, or money, or other things. No one has the time to an old father that is under the ground so many years. It stays. So they have the Chevra Kaddish and Afres. In this Afres you can invite someone should come to the kever and should paint over, because those letters that you wrote when you buried your father, with the time, wind is coming and it gets to be so old that you cannot understand what is written. So it's a special office for people that they remind yourself nothing is there to see, so you want at least. So they are inviting, go to this and this kever, I will pay you, and you will paint it over, it should be. And as we understand, just as it went in the first time, the second time will be the same in a few years. It won't be there. Someone is there, he had 80 years. In those 80 years, he had ideas, he had attitudes. What stayed over from him? Nothing. One big zero. How is it in the families that are keeping Torah and mitzvahs? Every family, they have a father, and this father was learning, and he had ideas in his learning, and he wrote it, or he said it, or he had something that when he said to the Shabbos table, he said about the parsha something, or the stories that he had brought from his parents, things that are staying forever. So we have today families, and they are trying to think about what can I make a memory for my father? What can I say about my father? He loved to eat wurst. How do you say wurst of English? It's
hot dogs.
Hot dog.
Hot dogs.
He loved hot dogs. We had a neighbor, and I was invited. I asked the neighbor. He talked about his father something. I said, what was your father? My father loved hot dogs. This was the Yerusha, the Tzavoya, Rochnis from an old father. He loved hot dogs. So it's the Havdil Elef Avdos. We have dogs that love hot dogs. So it's an animal. Nothing there that you can put in your thoughts. Something should be important, something you should admire, something you should appreciate. Nothing. It's going over. 100 years of life are going over. Nothing stays. So we are here in this Parshas Toldos, meeting those nice people from Efrat and talking over those thoughts. It can be Esau, it can be Yaakov. They can have the same parents, in the same family. It's not a question who you are, about your yichus, or about your economic point of view, your level. It's about you being Yoshev Oholim, being patiently and being with this understanding that you need to invest your time in those things that are so important. Look on your children, how they are davening. Look of yourself how you are davening. Look how things need to be explained. We have today many people that are davening, and if you are asking them something about the Siddur, they should explain what it means, this word. They don't know. They say it. They can be from people with big Schleimer. They don't know. Those are things that it's the minimum that we need. So we say every beim davening, Pinois tzvov kdoishim roim meishakai, tomid mesapim kvoid kelu v'dushosrei. This is in Tfilas Yoitzer in Shachmes. Pinois tzvov. What means the word pinois? Pino of Hebrew is a corner. So how comes the corner to this davening? Pinois tzvov kdoishim roim meishakai. What does it mean? So So I had a big Rebbe, the Ger Rebbe. He was called the Pnei Menachem. He was the son of his father. That was the old Ger Rebbe. He was a famous Rebbe in Poland. He was the son of the Sasha, and he was a Rebbe many years. He came to the number of more than 100,000 Chassidim that he had, his families. And he got married when he was old because his Rebbetzin passed away, so he got married with his niece and was born a child. This was the Pnei Menachem. He was born and his father was already by the 80s. So the father said to the child when he was 4 years old, I want to learn with you something, you are my child. So the child is asking, what should we learn? He said, we learn Siddur. Take a Siddur that you are davening, we will learn the words. This was the chavrusa between the big father and his child. So it was a Shabbos, and he's learning this word, Pinois Tzvov. The father is asking the child, do you know what is the explanation of this word? He says, no. So he says, the Medrash is full with people, thousands of people were there. Go out and ask a few people, what means this word? He was a child, happens Zin is very important by the Chassidim. And he's going and he's asking elder people, white beards, big Streimer, what means this word, Pinois? They look on him back and he says, it means something. What does it mean? I don't know. He's asking, you davening? You say, I say it, it's okay with me that I don't understand what I say. It's okay, Pinois Tzvov version. I say it, my father said it, my grandfather said it. What do you say? Do you understand what you say? No? So he came back to his father and he said, no one knows. And his father was, with a smile, he said, this is my duty. This is my duty to give those people the understanding that they need to understand. So I'm starting with my child. Pinois has also a meaning of a corner, but Pinois has also a meaning of a big officer. A big officer, also the Rosh Pino, means a big officer. So Pinois Tzvov Kedoshim, upstairs there we have angels, that they are Pinois Tzvov, they are the ministerium of this military, as a Ramatkal, as a Mefaked. So he said, as a child, he learned from it. You need to understand what you say. Ask. If you don't know, ask. So we want to grow as Jewish people. They understand what they say in the Siddur, and they understand what they say when they are learning, and they have a plan about learning, and they are learning, and they understand that this is our nation. Ein umos Yisrael umo elo b'toiroso. This is something that Reb Saadia Goyen wrote. He wasn't an Ashkenaz, he wasn't a Chassid. He was 1,000 years before. But this is what is right. What is he writing? What is our nation? We are not Arab Saudi. We will make peace or not make peace, but we are not Arab Saudi, not Japan, not Chinese, China. We are Jewish people. What is our goal? What do we need to do? We need to be grandchildren of Yaakov, that he was Ishtam. All the things in the world wasn't for him. He was innocent. He was so as foolish even not to be interested, not who is the best player, where is the best ping pong player. No, he didn't know it. But Yoshev, he just said, no, this was his duty. This is what he has done all his years. So this is our grandfather, this is this parsha, and this is what I say to those lovely citizens that are living in Efrat. I had a sister that lived here in Efrat many years. She passed away, she was a big tzaddik. She was a sister, a Achot Rashit in the hospital in Hadassah. So I used to come every week to Efrat to say a shiur at my sister's house. She passed away, and her husband remarried, Baruch Hashem. So, Toshavei Efrat, as I say, this is my finishing. I got a warning from someone, I shouldn't talk more than half an hour. Then came someone else and said, no, you should talk 40 minutes, but not 41 minutes. So I don't have a watch, but I do think that I feel my duty. I went over, I think, the 40 minutes, and I am finishing with my blessing. Al ti birkas hediot kalu beinechem. Every Jew can bless. I'm blessing everyone that is here in this room, the man, the woman, the older ones, the younger, every one of them. Every one of you can grow up and be in your nusach very, very big. We had a big genius rabbi that was called the Rav of Yitzchak HaKohen Cook. He wasn't from the Aguda, he wasn't from the Neturei Karta, he was from the Mizrach. And he was a big chassid of this Medina. So this is one side of his being what he was, but he was a big Talmid Chacham. He was from the biggest Talmid Chacham in his generation. So it's not about the color that you are choosing, it's about what you're doing. Be a Mizrahi, be a Talmid Chacham. Don't be reform, don't be conservative. But if you are a Jew that knows that we have Torah, we have mitzvahs, Toshavei Efrat are called to the big flag, not about military, not about being rich, about being rich in Torah and Tefillah. This is my blessing. Chol bonayach limudei Hashem v'rav shloim bonayach. Good night. Thank you.